Keith Lee just checked DJ Envy mid-interview for saying something very disrespectful. Now, the Keith Lee situation don't just start with DJ Envy. It started when Keith Lee set foot in New York to do his food review. Now, the first mistake that Keith Lee did was he came to New York to try a chopped cheese, but he tried a salmon chopped cheese.
And last but not least, the Too Smooth, which is a salmon chopped cheese. I'm gonna start with this one. It's salmon, cheese, sauce, lettuce, tomatoes, everything on a roll.
I'm not from New York, so I don't understand the chopped cheese phenomenon, but people from New York were absolutely outraged at Keith Lee for trying a salmon chopped cheese to represent the chopped cheeses of New York. And they were also outraged at the people who recommended for Keith Lee to try a salmon chopped cheese.
Why the f*** is my fellow New Yorkians telling Keith Lee to get a f***ing chopped cheese with salmon?
New York, what the f*** y'all feeding Keith Lee? A salmon chopped cheese is absolutely diabolical. Y'all need to apologize right now. Who the f*** is leading the charge for the New York for the Keith Lee? Y'all get that nigga salmon chopped cheese, and then he said y'all bacon, egg, and cheese was dry.
No. I refuse. No. I ain't trying to hear it. This should be illegal. This is a crime.
The gentrified bodegas in Los Angeles sell chopped cheeses for $20. So I've never had one. I'm not paying $20 for a sandwich. I don't care how much money I have. It's never gonna happen. Now, the culprits who created the salmon chopped cheese actually had a really good reason for why they are featuring salmon chopped cheese on their menu.
Keith Lee is back in New York City doing food reviews. The new Black-owned deli in Jamaica, Queens is called Taste Buds. 5 brothers with roots all over the borough are proud owners.
We gotta show our own people that it's possible for us to have our own, especially in our own communities.
The idea of the salmon chopped cheese came about from one of their sisters because one of the owners doesn't really eat meat. The secret is the quality of the protein. Wild-caught Alaskan.
Keith Lee did a great deed. He showcased a small family restaurant, gave them a great review for their salmon chopped cheese, and gave them a lot of business and notoriety. But somehow, the people of New York who just walk around angry, upset at life, trust me, bro, is most New Yorkers. All right, walk around angry at life. They made it real clear that Keith Lee was not welcome in New York. According to Keith Lee, no matter where he went, the people of New York was extremely cold and unwelcoming to him, even saying things like the Keith Lee effect doesn't work in this city. We don't want the Keith Lee effect.
We are officially back home from New York. Let's talk about it. New York was definitely the most interesting stop on the food tour so far. The food wasn't the issue at all. The people who follow me from New York wasn't the issue at all. It was the unwelcoming feeling we got the whole time we was there. We'll start with the salmon chopped cheese. Now, the first day we was there, we got over 1,000 recommendations of places to go, like we always do. And I understand, a salmon chopped cheese isn't traditional. I didn't make it. That's one of the things getting confused. I just tried something that somebody told me to try, like I always do. I just eat food at the end of the day. But that started a wave of us not being welcome anywhere. It almost became a thing of pride to say the Keith Lee effect doesn't work in New York. And New York natives took every chance they could to let me know I wasn't welcome there. And at first it started as jokes, but the more we were there, people were taking pride in the fact that the Keith Lee effect wasn't working.
That's a stereotypical New York story. Keith Lee probably thought they were targeting him, bruh. And honestly, I don't know if they were, because people in New York are just angry. In some parts of Philly as well, they just walk around with no joy in their hearts or on their faces, bruh, angry at life. Keith Lee was scheduled to do an interview at the Breakfast Club. And during the interview, DJ Envy, the only, I guess, indigenous New York person there, well, he expressed the very same emotions that the people of New York expressed to Keith Lee.
For people that don't know who you are, you've been going viral the last couple of months and years because you're a food critic.
Absolutely.
But you're a food critic the hood way. Like you pull up to the spot and you eat it in the car. Pause.
Clearly, I'm not the czar of interviewing. I'm not the Joe Rogan of hip hop, rap, or urban interviews. But I don't think it's a great strategy to call the business that feeds someone's family and their kids a hood way of doing things.
I wouldn't say the hood way. I just eat food. I critique everything, and it's not even from a critiquing standpoint. It's just I experience everything.
And really, a lot of times when you go to a restaurant, it is the experience, right? It's you know, when you go to the South, you usually get a warming feeling from people. New York is a lot colder.
Very cold.
Very cold when you go to those restaurants.
For sure.
So how do you rate a restaurant on experience based on that?
Keith Lee would then confirm that the people of New York was really cold to him when he was there. And he would also call out DJ Envy for calling his business or calling what he does a hood way of doing things. Now, Keith Lee will interpret the hood way of doing things as the ghetto way of doing things.
So you've been in all these different places, right? So you said New York is cold. So when you say New York is cold, explain to people when you get service in New York compared to service in Detroit, compared to service in the South.
Culture is different. The people are different. When I walked in, you asked me, or you said that I'm a ghetto food critic. So it's like that alone embodies what New York is.
That's New York.
That alone embodies what New York is. So it's like New York is cold. They play with you a lot. But I got thick skin. So it's like what you say to me don't bother me. I just don't like when places or people go to these small restaurants and they get that energy that you gave me.
I didn't say ghetto.
Keith Lee checked Envy for trying to demean or downplay what he does for a living. Now, he would say a line that resonated with everyone. This line you're about to hear is the one line that everyone gravitated towards and sort of ran with on social media.
It's the same thing. That energy that you gave me when they give it to small restaurants, that's what I don't like. But when you give it to me, I don't mind.
The energy you gave me when they give it to small restaurants, I don't like. that brother's spitting, man. He's spitting, right? Because people in New York are just unnecessarily rude sometimes and don't even realize they're rude because they've been surrounded by rudeness all their life. So they just think that the things they say and things they do is just normal, when in fact, it's impolite and it's rude. And I'm glad he checked DJ Envy on it.
No, it's not the same because I'm from the hood, but I'm not ghetto. I'm from Queens, but I call that the hood, but it's not
Nigga,
ghetto.
you are so ghetto.
I'm not.
You think you not ghetto.
I'm not.
You one of the most ghettoest niggas we
You got a
ever met
t-shirt
in our
on?
lives.
I'm not.
You got a
you out of
t-shirt
your
on?
mind?
You got a t-shirt on?
Huh?
You got a t-shirt on right now?
He got a white beater.
White beater.
He got a white beater on, but he said he's not ghetto. It's 20 degrees outside and it's raining.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got
I'm
a
not
jacket.
even paying him no
I
attention.
got a jacket.
Okay.
Now, you also went
His hoodie ain't
viral.
got no strings on it.
Roasting this man Envy to oblivion. Now, peep how they try to gaslight Keith Lee and try to make it seem like he's been faking his entire personality, right? When Keith Lee got back on AI after they disrespected him, now they try to say, oh, I'm surprised you are this outspoken in person. You're very quiet. Is that really you on social media? Yeah, it's really him. Because y'all been playing with him this interview, so he had a snap on y'all.
I'm not gonna hold you. I didn't from TikTok. I don't know if I would pick up on like your actual personality because you're so monotone, but you're not like that in person.
I'm the same. I feel like I am who I say I am. It's just that when I'm in front of the camera and I can just chill and it's myself, then you just get me eating food. But that's one thing about the internet. I'm always me, but you don't really know me because I don't really talk much.
Now, towards the end, it looks like DJ Envy came to his senses and he apologized to Keith Lee for trying to demean his business and calling it hood.
We got to run to the rumors, but we appreciate you for joining us. And again, I don't want you to feel like I was belittling you by saying hood. What I was saying was
he's not gonna grab you after, man. Relax. Okay?
I'm saying because I want to explain it because I don't ever want somebody to think I'm belittling him. What I was saying was
you ain't telling Tyrese that.
I was doing it to Tyrese.
If you got a restaurant,
but I was saying. No, I don't have a restaurant coming. But I was saying is I love the fact that you go to restaurants that we go to. I don't see a lot of people critiquing the restaurants that we go to.
And the restaurants we go to ain't ghetto.
No, I didn't say they were ghetto. You stop saying ghetto. I said the reason I said that. I did not say ghetto.
Yes, you did.
Ghetto didn't come on my word. I said
you said hood.
I love the
ghetto
fact
didn't come on my word.
The restaurant. No, I said hood. I said the restaurants that we come is in my hood. When I talk about Queens, that's my hood. When I talk about Brooklyn, those are my hoods. I don't mean ghetto, but the fact that is. You see somebody do a critique of Tal. You'll see somebody do a critique of Carbones. But when it comes to a taste of seafood or when it comes to cuts and slices, you never see that. And I love to see my own people doing it. That's what I meant by that. And I didn't mean to belittle you if you felt that way. I apologize. But I was trying to be no disrespect.
I appreciate it.
He didn't mean to call you hood. Charlamagne didn't mean to be on his phone.
Charlamagne for sure meant to be on his phone.
You might not feel it, but it's love in this room.
I hear you.
You know?
No, Charlamagne for sure meant to be on his phone.
I'm trying to be real with the brother and y'all making jokes because
This entire interview was just disrespectful to Keith Lee. Keith Lee has almost 15 million followers on TikTok, but they treated him like an up-and-coming SoundCloud rapper. Charlamagne the God was on his phone during the interview. DJ Envy was calling the man's business a hood business, a hole-in-the-wall business. It's just insane, bruh. If I'm Keith Lee, I'm highly upset. I feel like the Breakfast Club doesn't really value independent creators on the come-up, right? They feel like, they were doing Keith Lee a favor opposed to interviewing him because he earned his spot there. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, all right? And if you're still watching, click on this video here somewhere on my screen to find out why I believe the Soulja Boy and Blueface beef would turn deadly after Blueface and Soulja Boy said this yesterday. Click on this video here to find out what I'm talking about. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.